A sense of civic responsibility was one of the knitting needles that worked together families, friends, and neighbors in the West Medford community. Listen along as Mrs. Carlotta Frisbee and Mrs. Isaacs speak about one of those civic responsibilities, exercising their right to vote.
When I became 18, my mother said to me, she used to do this. She says, "You're 18 years old now. You're old enough to register to vote." And I said, "Well, what do I want to vote for?" My mother said, "This is your country." She said, "In the South, colored people are not allowed to vote," which is true, because that didn't happen until the 60s. She says, "Ministers, professors, doctors, teachers," and she named everybody down to the sharecropper. They are not allowed to vote. Up here in the North, we are allowed to vote. You are going to march yourself down to City Hall and register to vote. And you register Republican. So I marched down to City Hall. I'll never forget this. And she was a little woman. So when I came back, she says, "Well," she said, "Miss Willis," that was the sarcasm. "Did you register to vote?" And I said, "Yes, Mama." She says, "Now you can help run this country."
I started when I first started out. I'm from the South, and my parents were always Republicans. At that time I didn't know this one party from another, but I remember that in talking, uh, they were Republicans. They always voted Republican. So naturally, we had to sign up before we graduated from college down there. We had to sign up. So I signed up, and I signed up as a Republican. But when I got back, when I came, I guess I did vote for Republican when I first got in there. But became a Democrat with Roosevelt, and I've been a Democrat ever since. But you know something? My husband was a Republican. He never changed. And when we'd go up here to vote, they said, "Here come the mixed house."
It's time to educate so we can celebrate in each and every phase. We are the human race. It's time to educate so we can celebrate in each and every phase. We are the human race. So it's our time to shine. Humankind combines the most higher line, and so I decide to co-sign designs made for uplifting these young minds. This kind of description is one I'm inclined to listen to more than just one time. I'm hoping you more than just rewind, and you get a sentiment of each line. See people just looking to refine, searching for betterment, seeing plenty of tenements empty. Sorry gentlemen, nothing is rent free. We making moves to improve, and we do whatever we gotta do times two. Not about appearance, it's simply if you can cherish this life that we're given, just stand up and live it. Yes. It's time to educate so we can celebrate in each and every phase. We are the human race. It's time to educate so we can celebrate in each and every phase. We are the human race. We on a mission to create a new vision for the children's acquisition.
died unjustly. And we pray for peace and love, and may love arise and awaken in all of our hearts and our minds, so much so that violence will not be tolerated. We offer this dance and this drumming to all of our beloved friends, to the Creator, and to our ancestors.
We come together today offering this dance, this music, this spirit of unity that we have right now and all throughout the world. I pray for peace. I pray for healing. I pray for burdens to be lifted, for hearts to come alive. And I pray for justice.
من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Qul a'udzu birabbin nas, malikin nas, ilahin nas, min syarril waswasil khannas allazi yuwaswisu fi sudurin nas minal jinnati wan nas. I pray for all of us, for every humanity, for peace and love. I pray for equality. I pray for to come together, everybody to come together as one. And pray for the better future for our children. And pray for better future for our countries. And pray for people who doesn't have voice, for them to have voice. And pray for people who don't want to hear. Please listen. If you don't listen, you will never know what's going on. It's always good to listen, even if you don't agree with, but listen. Hear other people's voice. So I'm praying for that. I hope that happens for us. And again, I'm praying for peace and love. Thank you. Amen.
Amina.
Amina.
Ashe.
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 Amina.
If we ever needed, we need you now. We need you now. And if we ever needed, we need you now. We need you now. And if we ever needed, we need you now. We need you now. And if we ever needed you, we need you now. We need you now. For we are your people, and we're called by your name. So Lord, we humble ourselves to you, Lord, and we pray that you would heal. We want you to heal. Lord, we need you to heal.
Happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth.
Hello, my name is Jacquelyn Fitzhugh, and today I am going to show you how to make hot water cornbread. It's very simple, and this is a meal that those of us that grew up with not so much of plenty was served in our homes, and it was a treat if you added sugar to it, or you could add garlic, or you could have different flavors in it. But one of the things I'd like to say is this is the most frying that I do, because I gave up making deep fried foods and stuff. But this is the most frying that I do, and it's very simple and straightforward. In fact, I usually just make it by eye rather than using measurements. So I'm going to try today to give the measurements that I use rather than just eyeballing it. So what I have here is cornmeal, and I'm going to measure out probably about 2 cups. 2 cups of cornmeal. There's a cornmeal, and I usually just take a little scoop of flour here. I'm going to put it in the measuring cup. I think it's probably about either 1/3 of a cup or 1/2 of a cup of flour. Okay, so it's about 1/3 of a cup of flour you put in there. Then you have your baking soda, and you want probably about 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. Put that in there. Baking powder, you would probably I put about a tablespoon of baking powder. Maybe just a little dab more. Maybe 1.5 tablespoons. Salt, I would say I usually do my salt in the palm of my hand. I'm going to put it in the measuring spoon and see how much this is. It's a little under 1/2 teaspoon, so 1/2 teaspoon salt. You take all of this and you mix it up. Make sure all your dry ingredients are well blended. I'm on the hunt for my whisk. So you make sure all your dry ingredients are well blended. And as I said, I do add a little sugar to this. I'm going to add probably about, I'd say 1/4 of a cup of organic sugar. Not that that makes a huge difference. So I'll put that in there, stir it up again, and you'd be surprised what your next ingredient is. My next ingredient really is which is where this bread gets its name from, hot water. You pour in boiling hot water, which what it does is cook the cornmeal, and then you can make your patties. Okay, so I have all my dry ingredients here, and I have a kettle of boiling water. And the thing I will tell you, I usually don't measure this, so what I'm going to do is pour the boiling water into a measuring cup, and as I pour it into the cornmeal mixture, we'll see how much is left over. So that there is 32 ounces. So I'm just pouring and mixing the hot water in here. And you can see this is how it looks. It's cooking the cornmeal. And you want it to be just like a little, not too dry and not too runny. You want to be able to pat it into patties. Make sure you get all the cornmeal mixed in. You get all of it mixed in so it's kind of like cooking, and you let it rest for a little bit. Mix it up really good. There you go. You have your cast iron skillet on with your oil getting hot. So this is all mixed up and it's ready to go. It's ready to make patties. So let's see. So I used about 2 cups of boiling water in that. Okay, so then the next thing that you want to do is you can let this cool for a little bit before you shape your patties. I'm used to, handling hot stuff. I've been in the kitchen for quite some time. So I just grab some of it, pat it around in my hands, and form it into a patty. Depending on what you're going to do, if you're going to use it for appetizers, you can make these patties much smaller. You can put cheese inside of them before you fry them. There's lots of ways to serve this, but it's very simple and straightforward. The basic ingredients is the cornmeal, a little bit of flour, boiling water, a little bit of salt, your baking soda, baking powder, and you could put garlic powder in here, basil, whatever you like, whatever flavor you would like your patties to have. You can put that into your batter and pour your hot water in, stir it up, and then shape your patties and stuff. I like this size because everybody can get one. It's not too big, not too small, and fits in my skillet really nice. 4 or 5 of them at a time. Fits in the skillet. So there we go, making our patties. Okay, here's my skillet. My oil is hot. I have olive oil here is what I use. Other people use different oils. I tend to like using olive oil. I drop my patties in. And we'll have to time this. How many minutes on each side? I'd say 1 to 2 minutes on each side. That's pretty much the dough is already cooked. I don't crowd it. I don't try to put too much in at one time. And you just let it fry on one side. And as it's, frying on the side, this is a great treat. You can eat these for breakfast. You can have them for lunch. And you can have them for dinner. I'm going to have them for dinner tonight with the collards that I made. You see how it gets nice and brown on one side? And you just flip it over. My heat's on medium. Flip it over. You got a nice little crisp corn, a hot water cornbread patty. And usually I don't use this much oil. This is, I use about half this amount of oil. But today, when you cook by sight, things happen. It's never the same each time. So this is the hot water cornbread. And you take it out, lay it on a nice paper towel to get rid of some of the oil in it. And you serve these, warm. And there you go. You have a nice little hot water cornbread patty. So I hope you enjoyed this demonstration. I hope you will try some of these recipes. And happy Juneteenth. Thank you.
Happy Juneteenth! Happy Juneteenth!
Dear white loved ones, I calmly inform you that earlier than expected, a phase is finished, returns diminished, low fruit has been collected. Good job. Phase 1 was messy and not as planned. The triggerers were triggered. You called them out, the ones who'd shout, "Nigger, nigger, nigger!" Well done. Yet still there persisted the space to distance yourself from my reality. You'd rather wander than deeply ponder my world in actuality. We know. You've workshopped, Googled, posted, liked. You've read some books and cried. You've workshopped, Googled, posted, liked. You've read some books and wept. Lord knows you've cried for all who died. And yet your lie you've kept. It's behind you. The one that says that because you are kind, You are facing the right direction. But the only way to not face away is to look within and listen. We've known. You're not your fault. It's how we're wired. Our blindnesses are staggering. But now I fear the time is here where we take off our motherfucking kids' gloves. Or you could keep lying. They're just white lies. We all have them. Just check. It's just that your white lies, well, there, the knee upon my neck.
I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy. Crazy.
Black queen, you will notice me.
Notice me.
Black queen, you will notice me.
Notice me.
Black queen, you will notice me. Notice me. You gonna notice. When I needed you, you was never there. Every table I sat at, there was an empty chair. I'm talking to you, can you hear me? Copy crystal clear. Crystal clear, crystal clear, crystal clear. I just needed a figure, someone a little bigger. Supposed to be a daughter, but you left me up for slaughter. Withholding all your love, abusing mama's drugs. So emotional salvation, it took dedication, medication. So I self-medicated, then I graduated. Mentioned that I made it, didn't give a ran down on my luck. Down and out, abused and worn out. Couldn't stop, never stayed down. Opposite, had to frown. People just don't get it. No silver spoon or gold crown. I made changes, feeling jaded, so I get faded.
I get faded. I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy. Crazy. I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy. Crazy.
Hello, everybody. Pamela Means here. Welcome. Thank you for joining the West Medford Community Center kickoff celebration for their first Juneteenth event this month on June 19th. You can check their website for more details. I'm very glad to be here, and I'll be singing songs, largely protest songs and songs in celebration of Juneteenth. Like this one. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Keep on a walking, keep on a talking, marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let racism turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let racism turn me around. Keep on a walking, keep on a talking, marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let police brutality turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let police brutality turn me around. Keep on a walking, keep on a talking, marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let modern slavery turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let modern slavery turn me around. Keep on Welcome to Juneteenth celebration. Hands up, don't shoot. I'm tough and not bulletproof. Gonna love out loud, not afraid. Gonna march down Main in the Pride Parade. No closets, no shame. Yes, love, no hate. Hands up, don't shoot. I'm tough, not bulletproof. It's not the guns, it's the trigger. It's the bullet in the chamber sent to kill a stranger by a hateful, deranged figure. It's not the guns, it's the trigger. It's the bullet in the chamber sent to kill an anger by a hateful, deranged figure. Hands up, don't shoot. We're tough, not bulletproof. Hands up, don't shoot. We're tough, not bulletproof. Ho, hey, NRA, how many souls did you kill today? Ho, hey, NRA, how many deaths you facilitate? Ho, hey, NRA, how many souls did you kill today? Ho, hey, NRA, how many hearts did you break today? Hands up, don't shoot. We're tough, not bulletproof. Hands up, don't shoot. We're tough, not bulletproof. Well, thank you all for being here and spending some time. Jubilee Day, Juneteenth Day, cause for celebration. And thank you to all the people who fought for the end of slavery to bring it to fruition, who continue to fight for its modern day iterations and to shut them down. This is a tune that makes reference to my hometown of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And that's a geographic spot, but really this is a story that continues to repeat itself, sadly, all around the world, but especially at an epidemic level in our country. So even in the midst of a pandemic, violence continues to show its face. So I play this song today for Ahmaud Arbery and all the countless others. It's called Color of the Skin. Father grew up in Jim Crow, Tennessee, a sharecropper son far from luxury. Moved up north in 1952, not a thing changed from his point of view. His point of view. Now I've been pulled over on a shorewood shoulder, asked where you going, where you been. Ain't none of your business. Don't I look like an American? Gonna think what you want now, don't you? I didn't know the side of the road was a courtroom. Everything darker comes out in the light. We keep marching on, but our souls are tired. 'Cause here we are again, a black man gone 'cause of the color of his skin. The color of his skin. I was grown and groomed in the Great Lakes Midwest, where politeness covers up years of repressed tight lips, tight asses, too slow to grow, hyper-segregated masses, and I had to go. I seen the Rodney King riots in 1992, a black president. I seen that too, but ain't a dang thing changed from my point of view. Nothing's changed. Everything darker comes out in the light. We keep marching on, but our souls are tired. 'Cause here we are again, a black child gone 'cause of the color of her skin. Everything darker comes out in the light. We keep marching on, but our souls are tired. 'Cause here we are again, a black child gone 'cause of the color of the skin. The color of the skin. The color of my skin. The color of the skin. Well, thank you all for being here again, and especially want to thank Nancy, whom I call Nancy, and Divya in particular, for bringing me on board to this celebration. You can't see, I got walls of music around me, and there's a Nina Simone right up over here. And Nina Simone recorded hundreds of songs in her career, and she also wrote many of them. And I'm going to play a protest song that she wrote called For Women, for our Juneteenth Jubilee celebration. Nina Simone, like James Baldwin and many other black and brown artists of that era who were so saddened and disgusted with the state of racism, social affairs in our country, that they moved to France. It's a protest song by Dr. Nina Simone. My skin is brown, my arms are long, my hair is woolly, my back is strong, strong enough to take the pain, inflicted again and again. What do they call me? My name is Aunt Sarah. My name is Aunt Sarah. My skin is yellow, my hair is long, between two worlds I do belong. My father was rich and white. He forced my mother late one night. What do they call me? My name is Saffronia. My name is Saffronia. My skin is tan. My hair is fine. My hips invite you. My mouth like wine. Whose little girl am I? Anyone with money to buy. What do they call me? My name is a sweet thing. Nina Simone. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for hanging in. Juneteenth celebration. We've got a couple more songs for you. So I like to. I have my own remix. I wrote a song a couple Januaries ago. Well, I guess 2 Januaries ago, after a year of simmering rage, after the November 2016 election, and it was called "Impeachment Now," and it did its job apparently. And I've tweaked the lyrics to keep us focused for the election this year. Very important. It's a new kind of sing-along. You'll catch it. Fire, fury, rocket man, border wall, travel ban, Trump calls, very fine people, the khaki-clad clan with their tiki torches and racist chants, but the silent protest, non-violent, focused, peaceful and courageous, he calls the sons. The president is incompetent, an embarrassment, vote him out now. The president is incompetent, an embarrassment, vote him out now. Red and blue establishment, bowing to big money influence, complicit in the highest sense, you Bible-thumping hypocrites. Cashing in on the environment, rolling back rights that we died to get. Corporate tax breaks permanent. I don't think that's what Jesus meant. The president is incompetent, an embarrassment, vote him out now. The president is incompetent, an embarrassment, vote him out now. The president is incompetent, an embarrassment, vote him out now. The president is incompetent, an embarrassment, vote him out now. Is bigger than yours, war within a reach. My button is bigger than yours, war within a reach. Vote him out now. The president is incompetent, an embarrassment, vote him out now. The president is incompetent, an embarrassment, vote him out now. The president is incompetent, an embarrassment, vote him out now. In November. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to close it out with, dark, but important. So I'm gonna close with Strange Fruit. And if you know this song, you may know some of the history of it. It was, Billie Holiday made it famous. It was written as a poem and then turned into a song, both by poem and song by Abel Meeropol. in 1939. Time magazine called it the song of the century, of the 20th century. And it's really more than just a song. It's, for me, to perform it, it can be an experience, and sometimes it can really do a number on me. When I decided to do it after much resistance, because in my view, I only knew that Billie Holiday had sung it, and a friend of mine, son of Ralph Bronner, son of Dr. Bronner Soaps, another company out trying to fight the good fight and do good in the world and produce a product without harming the earth or its inhabitants. And he encouraged me to sing the song Strange Fruit because every generation needs to know it, because there are still reasons to sing it. So until we solve these issues and isms and have a greater peace, music will continue to be a way to fight these fights and to get a message out there. And I've heard many quotes, maybe even Pete Seeger, say that so much more can be done in a 3-minute song than a long-winded speech. And if this song, Strange Fruit, doesn't compress so much into just a few minutes. Thank you for your time and attention. Thank you, West Medford Community Center, for having me. And let's make the world better, huh? Southern trees bear a strange fruit, blood on the leaves and blood at the root. Blackbird is swinging in the southern breeze, strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees. Pastoral scene of the gallant South, the bulging eyes and the twisted mouth, scent of magnolia, sweet and fresh, southern smell of burning Here is a fruit for the crows to pluck, the rain to gather, the wind to suck, sun to ride, tree to bitter